Hello, listeners. Welcome to our newest special with Antonio Avila. He was our first place winner at the Miners Pitch competition, and we are super excited to have you. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to start off by congratulating you once again for winning the pitch competition. That's such an incredible achievement. Congratulations.
Oh no, thank you for attending there as well.
Yes, of course. And Antonio, I wanted to ask you if you could tell our audience who Antonio is. Like, what do you do? What did you study? What are you currently doing?
Right now, I'm a PhD student at UTEP under the electrical engineering department. Right now, I'm under the press lab, so we deal with a lot of renewable energy resources, electric vehicle integration to the power grid, and just sustaining the power grid itself. But other than that, I mean, I work under my advisor, Dr. Paras Mandal, and we have a cohesive unit with several national labs around the U.S. with Sandia National Lab, Lawrence Livermore, PNNL, and all the other labs that we coordinate with each other in this kind of renewable energy integration to the grid and making like the grid more robust with renewable energy.
Well, that's so interesting. You have a lot of experience, so I think that's incredible for your business as well. Now, moving on to like more related to your business, can you tell our audience what your business is? What are you doing?
So Opti-EV fleet is kind of like a proposed business model for managing commercial EV fleets in the logistics sector. This came about basically like having prior experience in the dispatching and brokerage business in the logistics field. So basically, I saw that as we transition to electric vehicles into our transportation, now we're transitioning to electric vehicles into the commercial sector. Now that you're having like class 3 to class 8 vehicles that are electrified and they want to be into the transportation sector, there's a lot of differences that you have to change in the transportation field if you don't want to have that transition, that kind of jump to hybrid or EVs. So Opti-EV Fleets is basically a management tool, like a virtual management tool that basically lets the business owner of the transportation field oversee all their electric vehicles' state of charge and how to manage their level chargers into their business and how to manage them effectively on their dispatching times.
Right.
So we all know that electric vehicles, if you have one or not, it's always against time. Level chargers are always going up in power output, so you have less charging times. But once you have more and more electric vehicles into the grid, it's basically just competing against time. It's basically not linear, so it's always changing. So if you have more electric vehicles into the grid in one sector, that 15-minute charge might increase to 30. It's always variant into the demand that's going in. So this Opti-EV fleet kind of helps the business owners manage their fleets and how to optimally manage their charging so that they can actually send out their trucks optimally so that it can actually meet their standard times.
This is so interesting. And I just wanted to throw out there, like actually last semester before I graduated, I had an internship with a transportation services company. And they always had like a lot of issues with that. So that's very interesting to see that you're doing that.
Yeah, it's a really hot topic right now. And
Yes.
basically that's one of the things that kind of brought up my idea to that, having prior experience and now working with that in the field
Right.
as well.
That's incredible. And where did you get your inspiration to want to start creating this business?
So I come a kind of like a long line in my family in the transportation field. My dad was a trucker; he has his own trucking business. My sister actually has her own brokerage business in the logistic field. So she works with intermodal tracking, like with Mexico, just selling and managing loads throughout. And also like my uncles also have their own trucking business here in El Paso locally. They have like from 20 to 30 fleet of trucks that they move throughout nationwide. So basically, like it just came abide with like my past family experience, and I always hear trucks moving in and out, how to dispatch them, what are they carrying, what are the maintenance issues that they need. Even with diesel trucks, like basically everything from that came to the household, and that's how I kind of built up to this right now.
It just came naturally to you.
Yeah, so I just kept on hearing when I was little, so it just came up.
Nice. And I wanted to ask you, Antonio, what was your experience like participating in the Miners Pitch competition? What do you think that the competition helped you to polish your business?
So literally, like the minors competition really helped to bridge that gap from technical to like actual like business entrepreneurship. I'm a IEEE author, so I've published papers I had to go and present, and some posters, and had some oral presentations, actually talking to the people in that field in the power grid sector. So it's really, really different because when you're in the technical field presenting, a lot of people know what you're talking about. So it's very technical. You basically talk with like how you formulated equations, how you integrated this and that. And here at the minor competition, it's more like you need to bridge that gap with your broad audience, because we all know that all the audience that were there, they have different avenues of different field aspects. So you have to really convey that business or that idea to them. So basically, minors competition really bridged that gap, and all that days and tutorials that you guys had really helped you bridge that gap in between. So
Well,
that's what's really helpful.
well, I'm really glad that that helped you in that way. And I'm curious, what challenges did you experience during the competition, and how were you able to overcome them?
So the challenges is that basically like the nervousness. Usually everybody has nervousness when they're gonna be about to present. Even if you have many presentations, oral presentations, you always have that nervousness when you're trying to convey your idea. But in this one, basically it's like a business idea. It's a business pitch, and it's also a competition where you're actually first place, second place, and third place. So it brings that nervousness even like times 10. So you have to really like keep that nervousness down. Also like not to come out with some gibberish, because sometimes when you're nervous, you can like not really pronounce the words right. So
Right.
that's one of the issues that I have. And also like when I'm nervous, I talk really fast. And this competition was at 5 minutes. I mean, there's some competitions that are 3 minutes, but between 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or below that, it's really hard to give that idea out there really quick and being concise to the audience. So that's one of the things that was challenging to me for that reason.
And how were you able to calm yourself down when you were in front of everyone?
So literally, like you guys had an excellent idea that we had like a kind of like a practice before that.
Right.
So when I did my practice run with you guys, that really helped me kind of like be concise, kind of look at the flaws that I'm presenting. This basically, if I'm talking too fast, if I'm not within the time limit. So that really helped. And also like when it was the day of the competition, I was just like making sure that I keep my mind at ease. I keep everything that I have other stuff like from the national lab work and all that just out of the way, just concentrate on the presentation itself and just keep myself calm. So yeah, I think that's kind of like my way that I can process to keep my nervousness down and all that.
And I mean, you won first place, so you definitely nailed it.
Thank you.
And my last question to you, Antonio, is as a first place recipient, what would be an advice that you would tell a student who's interested in participating in future pitch competitions?
So basically, if you have an idea out there, whatever it is, it can be anything. It can be technical, it can be very concise, a product model. Literally, like make sure that your presentation falls within that time limit. You really pick on like the topics that they tell you that the judges want to hear. So you really look at every single bullet point that they're looking for and have that in your PowerPoint. And make sure that you kind of underline that while you're presenting, either verbally or into the PowerPoint. Usually, a lot of times, you want to make your PowerPoint, your idea kind of just with figures a lot. A lot of figures convey the idea really well to all the audiences. And if you really want to put like some kind of text out there, you just kind of want to like put like a phrase or something and just underline that, make it bold so that they can read it right there and then. But usually, those are the things that a lot of presentations kind of outline what to do. You always want to like bold it, make figures. Figures are always the best picture for people so they can get the message. And other than that, I mean, on your idea, I mean, I know that everybody has really great ideas out there, and they bring a lot of solutions. Just that you really have to underline and paraphrase the fact that there is competition out there, but what do you do different from that? And also, what are the costs in total? What does it cost for your product, your program, and how you're going to sell it to them? Because basically, people who are investing to your product, they want to hear that. Those are like the very important things that they want to hear. You just want to hear money figures and how different you are and how it works. And those are like the three things that I've seen from like Shark Tank and all these other shows that they put out there, and that's what all they want to hear, to be honest.
Well, you guys heard it from the best. You have the best tips out there. Once again, Antonio, thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and we're truly honored to have you on the podcast.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you also to all of our listeners for your constant support. Studio G, the Michaelia Center for Innovation and Commerce, and the Blackstone Launchpad wants to thank you again, our listeners, for your constant support. Now, stay tuned for upcoming specials, and remember to always mind your business.
Your business.